So, we're in December. We're at the railway. And I asked Santa, can I get my present early this year? Because I've been a good boy. And he said, okay, Simon, yeah, you've been great. What would you like? And I said, can you get me an interview with an artist who's had a #1 album that had some of the best features of all time? And he said, no, the lottery winners are busy. Will Frank do?
Oh, yikes. Oh, man. Good work. Got me right in the guts. Fucking love it. Right. Yeah. Hi. Happy bloody Christmas. How are you?
Oh, good. How are you?
I'm fantastic, actually. I'm really good. I have an odd relationship with this part of the world. Look, we've dived straight in, but there are positive parts to it, and I've had a nice day hanging out with my mum, and I'm at the railway, and life is good.
Is it weird coming back here because it's like returning to your youth? And every time I go home, I'm like, hey, I'm a child.
Yeah, I mean, I first came to the railway in 1996, probably. When I was but a ute, I think is the current expression. I was like 14 or whatever, and I know this well, and it was quite different back then as well, I might add. But it is very much like I went to first gigs here, or I think with the exception of Mingle Hard, every band I've ever been in has played here. Million Dead played here. Knee Jerk played here to no people, almost literally. Which, given that it was my hometown, everyone else on the tour was like slightly like, "What the fuck, man?" Million Dead played here 3 or 4 times. I came to a million shows here when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very. And then I've played here as a solo artist like 10, 100,000 million times. That's not a number, but a lot of. There we go. Thank you. A lot of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's nice to be back, and also did a benefit for them in the lockdown, which I haven't been back since then. No. So it's nice. I'm glad they're still here, among other things.
The proof of your labour. It's still here.
Yes, I own that floorboard. There we go.
Or that light fitting.
It's quite a nice light fitting, I'll be honest.
We'll take it.
Okay, no, but I bought it for them. It would be churlish of me to now take it home with me.
Just have to do another
anyway.
Obviously, we spoke to you at the very start of this year, and then you just had, as always with Frank Turner, another chaotic year.
Yeah.
And you opened for the Boss.
I did open for the Boss.
Is that like a bucket list thing ticked off?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and not least because he doesn't really do support acts, generally speaking. It's only when it's sort of festival bills that he ever plays with anybody else. So the list of people who have opened for Springsteen is quite limited, and I'm proud to be on it. That's very cool. It was a weird day, I'll be honest with you. We had a good gig. The sort of general tenor of that level. I mean, he's one of, if not the most successful singer-songwriter in the world, and that's great. But it's like I walked out of it because I'd literally just come off quite a long tour with Rancid, and I walked out of it just sort of feeling quite reinforced in my sense of identity as a punk. There was quite a lot of sort of corporate backstage going on.
Yeah.
That's not to do down Springsteen in any way, but it was just
the level of the show.
The whole thing was a little bit kind of like nice to be a visitor here, but this is not necessarily my comfort zone. Do you know what I mean? So, but like I say, proud to have done it. Fucking A.
Yeah. Is there other bucket list things that are still left to be ticked, or have you
South America. Still fucking haven't been to South America.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going in January.
Of course you are.
But Japan, still never been to Japan. Working on it. I've got a new record deal with I'm still with Extra Mile, but we've got a new license structure internationally. Yeah. So anywhere I haven't played, I want to play. Do you know what I mean? I was having a conversation about shows in Indonesia the other day, and I'm just like, give it to me, inject it into my veins. So there's that kind of thing. It's definitely bucket list stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's the main thing, really. I mean, beyond that, I'm still hungry. I still finished making a new record this summer, and I think it's a good one.
You said that about the last one.
Yeah, I know.
And only went to number one.
Was I wrong?
Yeah.
Fucking brutal every time.
No, I loved it. You know what? I loved it.
Yes, I know. I'm just fishing compliments, really, aren't I?
Yeah, I'm not good. Ask my wife.
Okay.
She hates this.
But yeah, so, but I guess what I mean by that is I still go into the creative process with a fair degree of ambition.
Yeah.
I still think I can improve on what I do. So yeah, I'm still as driven on that level.
Right. I mean, it's good. I mean, I've got a bunch. Basically, I have a folder on my computer which is called "Questions for Frank" because we do this so many times, and I always forget. Yeah. So I've actually written some stuff down. So these are just really.
That's a wild technique you're employing there as a journalist, writing some stuff down.
I did try and do some real journalistic things. I spoke to one of your friends trying to get a story out of him.
Good Lord, who?
Dave Danger.
Oh, right, okay. Well, that's legit. I thought you were about to say Craig, and I was about to be like, uh-oh.
He just went, there is nothing PC that I can say about a story with Frank.
No, Dave and I lived together for a long time.
Yeah,
and
he just laughed when I said, could you give me a story for radio? And he went, with Frank. So
yeah, Dave can definitely tell you some stories not for radio, which I'm obviously not going to repeat either.
No. I did. That was my one journalistic thing I tried doing.
Right, but it's very good.
Oh, and another thing I did was journalistically. I worked out, so this year, this show will be 115th show of this year.
Right.
And so on average, you're doing a gig every 3.2 days.
Right.
And you're 164 shows away from show 3,000. So if you continue at this pace, May 2025 is when show 3,000 will be. Have you thought about that?
That's some maths, right? Yes, I'm not in quite that level of mathematical analysis. But I can't talk to you about it whilst there's recording equipment in the room, but we have plans for show 3000
already.
It's coming up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we have plans. I mean, it's funny. People, the first email I got asking me when and where show 3000 is going to be was about a week after show 2000, and I'm not joking or exaggerating. And I was just kind of like,
I love people.
What? Also had somebody, just saying, I'm going to be on holiday in Kilkenny next summer, and I was wondering if you could arrange show 3000 to be in Kilkenny next summer because I've seen it's coming up. And I was just like, sure.
That's a reasonable
So
request.
it's in Kilkenny next summer. No, but it's awesome that people are excited about it, and I'm excited about it, and we have a big plan.
Right,
so I'll tell you about later.
Nice. Right, so now on to some of the random questions, which have been. I always
these are your 3 a.m. thoughts.
Yeah. What is your favourite song you featured on? Because for me, besides "Start Again," because that's one of the greatest songs ever written, is "So Long" by the Donuts. I love that track.
It is a great song. Yeah. I mean, the thing about the feature, both of those is like they're both. I can sit here and tell you they're both great songs because I didn't write them at all. So do you know what I mean?
That's why they're good.
Yeah. No. Oh.
Sorry,
brutal. I mean, you're on fire today, son. "So Long's a great song. I mean, many years ago, I sung on a Reuben song. I really enjoyed that. I recently sung on a song with Billy Liar. That was a awesome song called Negroni, I think it's called. I should know the title of that song, really, shouldn't I?
If you didn't write it, it's fine. I don't have to remember it.
I'm pretty sure it's called Negroni.
Yeah.
It's a great song. It's on his new record. It's just really good, and you should all listen to Billy Liar because he's awesome. But I mean, "Start Again" is a pretty strong contender.
It's such a good song.
Yeah. Well, so Tristan, who manages Lottery Winners, mixed "Love Our Own Song" in "Keep My Bones" and indeed the new record.
Yes.
So we're old friends. He's from these parts as well.
Yeah, he's from Pompey.
He certainly is. So he called me up and said, I've started managing a band. I was like, are you all right? Just because he wasn't a manager. And he basically, the story he told me, he went to see him play and thought they were so incredible. He was like, what's your management situation? They said, we don't really have one. And he went,
sounds very Lottery.
Yeah, and he went, well, fine, I guess I'm going into managing at that point because you guys are going to take over the world. And he was right. And he said, I've got this band, and he sent me the song, and I just went, that'll do.
Yeah.
And we went from there. So yeah, that's a good choice.
Cool. Also, why before songbook that you did, why was there only ever a live version of "Ballad of Me and My Friends"?
Because I thought it was cool.
I mean, it is an amazing live recording.
It was recorded at the Barfly in August 2006, which was the first gig I ever sold out. This is a 180 cap room, but I just got back from a long tour of Russia, and I arrived there, and I was really tired and just sort of life hungover because Russia, Russia and Latvia and Lithuania, and Finland as well. It had been a long and brutal tour, and loads of fun. And I got there, and basically, the guy who was booking the show was trying to settle up with me before doors because it sold out, so you can settle up at that point.
Yeah.
And I, A, had never sold out a show, and B, I just couldn't really get my head around what he was trying. I was like, but more people might buy tickets. And he went, but they can't. And I said, yeah, but they can. They just come down. I thought he was being pessimistic about it. And he was like, there are no more tickets. And we sort of went back and forth on this for ages. And eventually he was like, here is all of the money.
Go away.
Yeah. And now you don't have to talk to me after the show. I was like, wow. But yeah, so we recorded Ballad that night. I mean, the guitar sound and it's awful, but it was a special evening.
Yeah.
And that was always the idea. So actually, there is an earlier version of that song, which was on 10 for 10. Because basically my original idea was to record it at 3 a.m. in Nambucca, which we did at a lock-in, and we did. The problem is that, and I speak with a degree of candidacy here, but at 3 a.m. lock-in, I was quite accelerated, should we say?
Yeah.
So it's really fast, like too fast. But I mean, which was really annoying to me because that is the perfect version of it because it was sung in the room that it's about with the people it's about. Do you know what I mean? But we were all just out of our minds.
Yeah.
So, but it was on the 10 for 10 thing that we did.
Yeah.
So you can find that somewhere.
Nice. Right. Also, with Spotify Wrapped, do you find out who your number one listener in the world is? Do you get like a warning?
No,
going,
I don't.
If you see this person, run.
I don't know. I haven't really delved. Maybe you could. I haven't. I sort of get sent this sort of bump, and I'm just like, whatever. I don't care very much. I mean, I find that the whole Spotify's ripping off artists and blah, blah, blah kind of thing is a bit overdone, to be honest, because they pay more than Radio 1 used to pay. And is it radio or is it CDs? That's the whole debate, and people who don't recognise that aren't really taking it seriously. So I don't really know. I mean, it's annoying that Daniel Ek seems to be intent on being a Bond supervillain. Just every single time you're having an argument where you're trying to sort of discuss the merits or whatever of Spotify's business model, he buys another private jet and sort of like shoots a bunch of unemployed musicians and gives Joe Rogan $100 million or something. And you're like, oh my God, could you just stop?
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't care about Spotify Wrapped very much, but it's very nice that people listen to my music.
Right. Well, I'm going to obviously ask about album 10 quickly, but we've got a quick game.
Okay.
It's a new game because
Lovely.
I've run out of games with you, so I had to start creating new ones.
We have done so many games.
Yeah.
I said to Jess earlier, by the way, my wife, that you're the badge guy.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh yeah, Simon, I know. Yeah.
Right, so this game is called So You've Been Theosaurused. Basically, I've taken parts of songs, throw them through a thesaurus, and then you've got to work out what the song is.
Right, okay. But my songs? Or
your
okay,
songs.
right, okay.
I mean, there's some easy clues in there, and obviously, there's always a prize. You know, it's Christmas time.
Okay.
So what can't you have Christmas without?
Crackers,
No.
stuffing.
Reindeer.
Reindeer, obviously.
So there is a reindeer up for grabs.
Right. Okay, that's right. It's a chocolate reindeer as well.
Oh, well, of course. It's
Look at that.
It's a good.
A friend of mine pointed out to me the other day that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is the most famous reindeer of them all.
Oh, yeah.
Name one other famous reindeer of any... Like, who's he in competition with?
I mean, there's Dixon.
No, I know, but but outside of that context,
Yeah, there isn't.
there aren't any other famous reindeers.
He's top tier. He's marketed himself well.
Well, he has done very well, yes. But anyway, moving on.
Right, so
Okay.
you have been theosaurused.
Right.
So, never concern assuming that a mortal never aware what to fulfill. I have taken a tiny continuation of all existence in panic-stricken footwear. I depleted those whilst rambling. It was a waste of time. That is one of your songs.
I feel like I'm on drugs right now. That is really hard. I figured it out at the end, though. It's Don't Worry.
Yes, it is.
And it was the footwear that done
Yeah,
it.
that was all of these have got like a little bit of a...
Up until that point, I had not even the beginnings of an idea of what you were talking about.
Yeah, nor did I, but I made it.
Okay, yeah, right.
that's
Okay,
number
this
one.
is a great game.
Yeah, this takes ages to do. So there's only 3 songs to get.
Okay.
But to get the radio, you do have to get all 3 because it took me an hour.
And if I don't, you're going to eat that in front of me.
Oh, yeah.
Vindictively.
Oh, yeah.
On camera.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, so the next one. I apologise for the disagreement on Saturday and Sunday. I ought to have heard you out for the foremost time you spoke. So I could just be your buddy old pal. I have eventually cleared the carport at your request. I washed some clothes for both of us.
That's actually funny enough how I talk at home. And I just tidied it up for the lyrics.
That's what I thought that was the original version.
That's, Yeah, that's the work. That one was easier.
Yeah, I mean this.
Okay. The carport.
What other word is that? A garage.
I don't have a fucking carport.
You Google garage and thesaurus, and the only thing that comes up is carport.
That's fair. That's fair.
Right, this one is even easier. But yeah, we'll just get to the end.
Okay, but there's a reindeer involved.
There is a reindeer involved,
right.
but I think you've already won it. I have to admit, I'm no longer considered young. These modern sounds that are pleasant and harmonised aren't for me, and now I don't feel warm. Confusion is had when children are saying statements. My My pals have tied the knot, brought property, and created retirement funds.
Can you write this stuff out for me on a big piece of paper so I can sing that tonight for photosynthesis? Thank you very much, said taking a fucking reindeer, instead of the original.
I mean, if you could fit
If I can make it scan.
Yeah.
We'll see how we go.
Yeah. So you won.
Hooray! I got rain. Thank you. You're so kind to me.
Yeah. I mean, that
Every
took me an
time I
hour,
see
and
it.
it was over in 3 minutes.
Right. Well, it was an hour well spent. First one, I was properly just like, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about right now.
Yeah. I mean, the photos, I was like, just gonna be easy. But I just liked the people have created retirement funds.
Yes. Right. Yes. Excellent. Yeah.
Obviously, so we're here at the Railway.
Yeah.
And earlier this year, you've recorded album 10.
Yes.
And on your Instagram, you did put up a picture of you completing said album, and there was a word written on a whiteboard. Is that anything to do with the album?
Who could possibly say? Who could possibly tell that my social media is no longer quite as sort of like monitored as it once was by people who are paying attention?
Find the post. That's all.
Yeah, okay. I'd say this. I don't know when this is going out into the world.
Next week.
Okay, sign up for the mailing list.
Ooh.
Because you'll be then. I mean, I would say that, but like, before the year is through,
there will be things.
Nice. Music. There will be music.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I'm quite excited. So what can you not tell me about album 10?
I can't tell you that it's rubbish. Whee! No, it's the first record with Callum on drums, and therefore it's great. And I think it's a punk record, but it's not quite as kind of. It's more kind of having fun than just furious. FTHC was quite quite a dark record in retrospect. And there's some serious stuff on this record. There's a song, I'll say this now, there's a song called Somewhere in Between on the record, which is one of the more intense things I've written in my life. But broadly speaking, it's a more upbeat punk rock record.
Yeah. I was going to ask that because for Lost Evenings, you've put the hardcore day and then you've put new album. So I was like, oh, is this a sign of what the album is going to be?
Kind of. Yeah. I mean, hardcore's a word, but it's more. We'll do all the fast ones that night and the new album, and those things will gel.
So the album's all done now. So you've
Finished,
already signed off the masters and everything.
Yeah, all done.
So
I've got it on my phone.
Oh, nice. So is it a case now of we're going to get it sometime early next year, mid next year?
Early to mid. The vinyl lead times are a thing, particularly when so the big thing for us on this record is trying to focus more internationally. I love the UK, and the UK is all great, and we got number one on the last record in Happy Days, but like
spread the wings a little bit.
Yeah, well, without getting too far into the weeds, essentially the label support I've had outside the UK for the last couple of records hasn't been what I've wanted it to be. So it's exciting to me that we're going to have vinyl in Australia, and that we've got people, doing radio pushes in Spain. And do you know what I mean? And just like there's more of an international focus, which is really cool. And in fact, there's one song on the record that I've currently recorded in 3 languages, and it might have more.
Ooh.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
For everybody, you'll see.
There's stuff happening, but
there's loads
very
of stuff
exciting that there's
happening.
new music before the end of the year.
Yes,
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
And then it's obviously early next year. So I'm assuming, as always, that it means a tour, because all these festivals have been announced, and I've not seen your name on one yet.
Yeah.
Which I was very upset, because I was really hoping that you would be doing Victorious.
Well, we had I love Victorious. We had a pretty big festival summer this year.
Yeah.
And I think we'll have a big festival summer in 2025.
Okay.
Because
Stuff and things. So I'm assuming that means Tour UK will get something in next year.
I mean,
because
you'd imagine so.
Yeah, I mean, there's not been a year.
I mean, who could say?
Yeah.
Me, obviously. But, I'm not going to...
What he's saying is there is going to be a tour next year, but he can't say there's going to be a tour next year, but I can say there's going to be a tour next year, even though I don't know there's going to be a tour next year for definite. Words.
Dunk. There's going to be a lot of touring next year in lots of different parts of the world. And the UK, last I checked, was part of said world. Well, despite the best efforts of some of our politicians.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that, yes, there will be a tour.
Amazing. So yeah, I know. Obviously, you're gonna go get some dinner, and it's amazing to chat to you as always.
Dude, it's
we
lovely to see you.
love seeing you.
I hope you enjoy the show this evening.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. It's you.
I might play a new one.
Ooh, again, very excited. Last time we came here when you did the dog show or whatever it was, you then played. Was it you played Love 40 Down for the first time?
That dog show is one of the weirdest things that's ever happened to me ever in my whole life.
I mean, it's good. Yeah, exciting time as always.
I'm going to chat to you.
as well.
Merry Christmas. I'm going to chat to you again about the new record.
Yes.
When the time
Yes.
comes. And I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Looking forward to tonight, as always. Merry Christmas. And also, happy birthday, because it's towards the end of the month as well.
It certainly is. Thanks, man.
Thank you very
Nice to
much.
see you. Cheers. I've got a reindeer.